All right, darling. Come closer. I've got updates from the HBO Harry Potter series, and they're loud enough to wake a troll from winter sleep. Filming has kicked off in Hertfordshire again. Yes, the same Ashridge estate you and I stared at on loop back in the Goblet of Fire days. 700 years of history, old trees, and that eerie stillness that always feels like something's watching. In a fun way, mostly. And under those same branches, cameras rolled on the flying lesson. The first one, the Neville loses the remember-all and Draco sprints off with it moment. Dominic McLaughlin shot across the field in full Gryffindor kit. Louise Brayley, Sherlock fans, you'll smile, stepped into Madame Hooch's boots. Rory Wilmot as Neville, Locke Pratt as Draco, Alistair Stout as Ron. They were all there, sweaty, excited, trying not to crash into the oaks. The place is transforming. You can see the 80s creeping in. New Quidditch stands, a thatched village, farm buildings that look suspiciously like early drafts of the Burrow and Hagrid's hut. Hertfordshire's becoming a little wizard town, one plank at a time. Oh, small slip. Hertfordshire. Sorry, I said that wrong. Happens when I talk too fast. And if you wandered through the woods while they were filming, you'd have seen brooms leaning against tree trunks, crew in vintage clothes, and a brand new Hogwarts emblem stitched onto the robes. It's the first real proof this reboot isn't smoke and mirrors. It's happening, properly happening. Speaking of robes, you've seen the uproar. The colors shifted. Gone are the plain black cloaks we all grew up with. Dominic and the others were spotted in deep red, almost brown, with greenish plaid tucked inside the hood. Draco's version came through cooler, sharper, clear lines, subtle house markers. It caused the internet to split in half. Some cried betrayal. Others went, finally, something fresh. But here's the clever bit. It's not random. The show's leaning into the 80s setting. Real wool blends, heavier fabrics, visible stitching, less theme park shiny, more old British boarding school, but with wands. Francesca Gardner and Mark Mylod want it grounded. And honestly, pure black doesn't film well in modern HDR. It flattens. These warmer tones read better. Also, don't throw your tea, Warner Bros. Gets to sell an entire new merch line. Robes, scarves, ties, badges, the lot. I'm not judging. If they release a Slytherin version with stitched edges, I'm doomed. But the parks can't change overnight, so the show and the parks will end up as two timelines. Same world, different coats of paint. It'll be fine. Think of it like, oh, how do I put this? That Percy Jackson prophecy thing where two versions of something can exist without breaking fate. That, exactly that. Now, Broadway. Tom Felton stepped onto the Lyric Theater stage for his debut in Cursed Child, and the crowd lost control the moment he appeared. He opened his mouth, didn't even finish his first line. They were already crying, cheering, shaking. That platinum hair under the lights, yes, darling, it hit all of us. He said, "I need a favor," and the room erupted again. 2 decades of memory in one breath. He's playing adult Draco now, a father, a man carrying his past like an old coat he can't quite throw away. People say his performance is raw, sharper, more grounded. He understands the weight of the role now. And yes, Daniel Radcliffe has been giving him notes about stage pacing. Draco taking advice from Harry, what a time. He's signed for 26 weeks, through May 2026. The show extended his contract before opening night. That's how intense the demand was. And then we have the Pelps twins, James and Oliver. While everyone else was doom-scrolling robe colors, these two were making a mess on Food Network with Wizards of Baking. Second season, same chaos, same charm. The latest theme was transport. Cakes shaped like the night bus, Hagrid's motorcycle, the flying car. Someone even attempted the ministry toilets. The twins wore purple conductor hats and welcomed everyone to the night bus, emergency transport for stranded bakers. They pranked the contestants by shouting, 30 minutes left, when there were 3 hours. The bakers panicked, the twins nearly fell over laughing. Devin Murray, our Seamus, showed up as a guest judge, and someone made a chocolate mousse motorcycle with edible smoke. Oliver called it the best dessert he'd ever had. Hard to argue. And the chemistry between the twins, it hasn't faded. Same timing, same jokes, just older faces and more sugar. Even small details, like the little differences in robes under the maroon overlays, spark huge conversation. People notice, people care, and honestly, it warms my little bookish heart. And I love this. The children are just so small. Tiny wands, tiny robes, tiny nervous smiles. Watching them interact, fumbling brooms, trying not to crash into one another, it's a reminder of why these stories have lasted, darling. There's vulnerability, innocence, and magic all tangled together, and you can't help but get swept up in it. You might find yourself whispering encouragement or laughing at Harry's tiny, triumphant scream when he finally hovers. Now, a note about continuity. Some people wondered if the robe overlays were Muggle clothes and argued about book accuracy. My fellow lore lover, this is why adaptation is an art. Even Rowling wasn't entirely consistent. The films leaned toward visual interest over strict adherence. These new costumes, they feel consistent, magical, modern, yet tethered to the original universe. It's wizard couture, practical, magical, and strange enough to be enthralling. Oh, and we simply cannot ignore the little things. Ron's uniform being a smidge too short, Draco's hair, the collars peeking out under the maroon coats, Hooch's tracksuits catching the wind, these are the details fans adore. They pick apart everything, and it's glorious, because it's about authenticity, yes, but also about love for the world. The same applies to Neville. Poor boy, precious, and destined to tug at our hearts when Malfoy inevitably terrorizes him. I warned you, emotional investment ahead. And before I get lost in the rabbit hole again, oh, I always do, we need to talk about that sly tease that some fans noticed. The maroon robes might only be for flying lessons, hinting at more color-coded magical wear. Could this be the start of a visual language across Hogwarts? Possibly. Oh, imagine, a subtle wink to the keen-eyed viewers. That's a breadcrumb trail of magical world building, and yes, I am delighted. Finally, the nostalgia, darling. You feel it in every frame. Some of you weren't even alive when the films began production, and now here we are, tracking the series almost like a magical prophecy ourselves. We've got our books, our films, and now this series, a blend of past and present, and it's intoxicating. The young actors, the costumes, the set pieces, the very air of Hogwarts, it all whispers, come back, remember, feel again. That's all for now, but don't wander too far. On your screen now is our vision from my co-host for the entire first season of the HBO series, episode by episode, the way we think the magic should unfold. Go on, click it, and make sure you subscribe, love. You'll want to be here when I finally reveal more news and HBO Harry Potter TV series leaks.